Hello my friends and welcome back to the Hillside. Today we're going to be harvesting potatoes, so let's get right into it. I started these seed potatoes back in May and I grew them the entire time in my greenhouse. They didn't get as big as I would have liked, but we did get a really nice harvest off of these. I planted one bag of seed potatoes and I harvested probably 3, maybe 4 times as much as I planted, so that was a win for me. These potatoes actually matured rather quickly. Next time I'm going to actually grow them in the greenhouse, but then bring them out halfway through the season outside. Maybe that will prolong the life of the plants and hopefully I'd get a bigger harvest, or at least bigger potatoes in general. But I'm really excited to take you along to show you how much we've harvested, and on top of that, the reason why I really enjoyed growing these in the greenhouse is because we got such an early harvest. Technically, I can actually grow some more seed potatoes, plant them now, and harvest them by the end of fall. So I could actually grow 2 harvests of seed potatoes, especially if I keep them in my greenhouse, because the greenhouse will keep them a little bit warmer overnight when it gets chilly, especially in the fall and early spring when I started these. And it just prolongs the life of the plants, it protects them from the elements, and honestly, we just have a little bit more control over how the plants are growing. So I really enjoy growing these in my greenhouse. If I want to get bigger potatoes, I'll bring them out halfway through the growing season, but I'm satisfied with what I got so far. So if you're looking to grow your potatoes and have, number 1, an early harvest, and number 2, if you're looking to grow 2 different harvests of your potatoes, start them in early May, keep them in your greenhouse, and then they'll mature and get ready by the end of July, and then you can start another round of potatoes that you can harvest at the end of the fall. So honestly, you can get away with growing tons of potatoes this way, especially if you utilize having a greenhouse. And you can see I don't have any big fancy greenhouses. This is just a small greenhouse from Amazon. If you look back on my channel from last year, I believe, you can see how we put all this together. It was a super simple setup, not very expensive, and it's lasted me. This is my 2nd season growing in here, and it's gonna last also next year. So I've definitely got my money's worth out of this greenhouse. It makes growing things so simple. I can prolong the growing season for so many of my different vegetables, and honestly, it's just a lot more of a controlled environment where I can control the amount of water and heat and sun and everything that they get. I also utilize a shade cloth on this greenhouse to keep the heat down, because it does get really warm during the peak of the day. So I put a shade cloth over top of the greenhouse to keep it moderately warm but not too hot. Well, let's continue harvesting these, get them all done, and we'll see what we have at the end.
That is a seeded potato. That's the one you planted. I didn't want it to miss out, so I just hopped off the game and came out. Yeah, you gotta do it now, otherwise I will do it myself, otherwise you'll miss out on the day picking right now. There's one there right now. No, I'm not repeating, right? You are though right now, because you get more money. That's why we went to New York, I think. Right now. Oh wow, there's another big one right now. Oh, I can feel one right now.
Filled up our basket.
Hey Mom, nice full basket of bread.
Okay, so all the potatoes are harvested, and a few days later, it was time for our trip to New York. My son Noah and myself and my mom, all 3 of us went to New York for 4 days during the 4th of July weekend. We went to visit family over there. We stayed on Long Island and we had such an amazing time. We got to see my grandma, who I haven't seen in about 29, almost 30 years. And it was the first time Noah got to meet his great grandma, so that was absolutely amazing. We had a fun time, met a lot of family members that we haven't met before, a lot of my cousins, a lot of my aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and so many different people that we just haven't met or haven't seen in a very long time. So this trip was absolutely worth it. We had so much fun. We went to a party. We danced the night away, went shopping, ate lots of food, had a great time, and then headed back to Canada to check on our farm because we left Jesse here by himself. And it was time for us to come back home after. We had an amazing time. This was a trip that I've been planning for a couple of years now, and I'm so glad I got to take Noah with me to see his great grandma and for him to experience what it's like being on a plane for the first time. So this was a total must-do trip. We had an amazing time. Well, thank you guys for coming along and harvesting the potatoes and checking out my trip to New York. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay peaceful. Bye, guys.